Hey mamas! Today we're going to talk about judgment in motherhood and it's going to be a good one. So if you are feeling judged, this one's for you. So let's get into it. Um, I felt like doing this one today because I was having a chit chat with my mom and my sister, and my mom had to bottle feed us because she wasn't able to breastfeed, and my sister was able to breastfeed all of her children. And I've also been able to breastfeed. Um, my mom always felt very judged um, because she had to bottle feed. She felt like um, the nurses in the hospital judged her. She felt like her own mother judged her. She felt like her mother-in-law judged her, and she always felt like less than for not being able to breastfeed. And then conversely, my sister was very much like um, proud of being able to breastfeed, but like if she went to out somewhere like the mall, she was not afraid to breastfeed, like not calling attention to herself, but like out in public. And she'd been judged basically every time she ever did that. Like there was people judging her like crazy. Like somebody even came up to her one time and told her that that was disgusting, and they didn't want to see that. And it's crazy to me because the baby is breastfeeding, you can't see anything. But yes, I have, just because of my own comfort levels, I don't usually breastfeed out in public. The most I've done is at the pool when my daughter was doing swimming lessons, and I was like very much isolated in my like little chair area, or at the playground, and while she was playing, and we were the only ones there. And that's like the extent for me. So I've never been judged for doing it in public because I usually am not around anybody. But even that to me was like, there's something in me that feels like I have to be alone to do it, and that's my own comfort level. I accept that, but it's also kind of sad because it's just the baby eating. Like all these scenarios is like just the baby wanting and needing to feed, and somebody judging however it's happening. So that got me to thinking beyond that, and noticing how there's just so much judgment on everything in motherhood. So it's like if a mother is a stay-at-home mom, like, oh, judge, judge, judge. Like I've seen comments of like, oh, well, aren't you contributing to the household? Like, honey, a stay-at-home mom is doing the work of like 24/7. So they are contributing, okay? And then moms who go back to work and they're like, oh, don't you feel like bad that you are leaving your child to someone else, and they're raising your child for you? And it's like, honey, things cost money, and some people have to work. And even if that's not the case, like for mental health reasons, some people just do better when they go back to work. And that's nobody's business but their own. Like the judgment of baby led weaning versus puree. And they're like, if you do puree, that's like old school, and that's going to give the baby like portion control issues. I've seen that out there so much. Or um or that it's not helping them to develop their mouth muscles or fine motor skills or whatever. And then if you do baby led weaning, um, they could choke. A baby shouldn't be having that. Like that you're just putting your child at risk or whatever. And it's like, once again, the baby's just trying to eat, and people are judging you for how you choose to feed them. And like, once again, honey, like, it's up to the parent. If they want to choose puree, that's their comfort level. If they want to choose baby led weaning, that's their comfort level. Yeah, there's just so many things. Like, I could think of like so many instances, like uh going back to like stay at home mom versus going to work, the and then like talking about daycare, especially if you're a stay at home mom and you choose to put your child in daycare, and they're like, well, what's your problem? You're a stay at home mom. Like, if you have the resources to put your child in daycare and that's what you choose to do, that's your own business. Like, if the mom is a stay-at-home mom and they're able to do that, like, I imagine she has so much on her plate that that was the only choice, you know? And even if it wasn't the only choice, it was her choice. It was their family's choice. um and like, yeah, like what people choose to eat or drink, consume in general. And I just think that it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And the way I've worked with that in my own self, my own parenthood journey, is to just let them. Their judgment is a reflection of their self and their own insecurities, more than it is a judgment of you. And for me, I'm also like I know I have my, like I mentioned, my comfort level with breastfeeding. Um, and even there's people who are like, oh, your child is over a year. Why are you still breastfeeding? And like, once again, it's none of your business. um, and I just I've come to the point where I'm like, yes, it is none of their business. They can judge me all they want. I'm not their friend. I don't know them at all, and I don't really care what they think. Um, in general, like, I've come to that point, and realization that, I'm doing the best I can with what I have and the way I want to raise my child and my children. And yeah, it's like that let them theory. Like, they're judging me, let them. I don't care. Go ahead and judge me. um, as long as my child is thriving the way that both of my children are thriving, as long as I am thriving more than surviving, there's those days, but as long as it's more thriving, like, that's all I want. I'm not trying to please these random people out in society, and if they are wasting their time judging me based on how I'm feeding my child, then that's on them. I do not care. And I hope you're able to get to that point too if you're not there already, because you're doing the best job you can if nobody has told you that today. And I hope that this was a little bit like one of those moments where you're like, yes, I feel seen, and that resonates with me so much. And if it is, let me know, drop it in the comments, and let's give each other virtual high fives and recognition of all the hard work we're doing. And I will see you on the next one. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.